Today, we're going to learn how you can disintegrate yourself or an object into particles using the FCPX Disintegrate plugin from Pixel Film Studios. Here's what the finished result's going to look like. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Serge and welcome back to my channel. Before we jump into Final Cut Pro, there is a couple of things you have to keep in mind when filming. One is, if at all possible, control your light, especially when filming outside like me. Try to pick a place and a time with consistent light, so either a nice sunny day or a fully overcast day. Next, place your camera on a tripod and set it to fully manual. Press record and record a few seconds of just your background. Keep filming as you step into the frame and record your clip. Now, let's jump into Final Cut Pro and learn how to make your subject disintegrate. For this effect, we'll be using the new FCPX Disintegrate plugin from Pixel Film Studios, who sponsored this video. Take your clip where you're in the frame and drop it into your timeline. Skim to the part right before you want the effect to start and press Command B to blade your clip. Open the effects browser, and from the masks category, add a draw mask to the second part of your clip. With your playhead at the start of the clip, in the viewer, add control points to outline your subject. This doesn't have to be perfect, but try to be as accurate as you can. If your subject moves in the clip, in the inspector, add a keyframe to the control points of the draw mask. Go through your clip and adjust the control points as needed. Next, after installing the FCPX Disintegrate plugin, open the Titles and Generators browser and scroll down to the Pixel Film Studios Disintegrate category. Here, you have two adjustment layer tools, the Basic and the Advanced version. For this example, let's grab the Basic version and connect it above the second clip. Ripple trim it to the length of your clip. This is what the default effect looks like. This might be enough for some clips, but even in the basic version, there's a ton of adjustable parameters to customize the particle behavior. Place your playhead to where your subject is partially disintegrated and head up to the video inspector. First, let's make our particles a bit smaller by setting this value to about 4. Next, the sweeping type adjustment adjusts the direction your subject disintegrates in. So, for left to right, the left side of your subject disintegrates first, then the right. For our example, let's change this to top to bottom. Under that, we have a slider for a number of particle layers. Bringing this all the way up to 3 will clone your layers, giving you more particles for this effect. For time's sake, I'm going to skip over some of the adjustments and only go through the ones I modified for this effect, but feel free to play around with them to make this effect as realistic as possible. The velocity axis and the amount sliders adjust the axes and the direction of the particle movement. You can have your particles move on the x-axis to either side, the y-axis, which is up and down, or the z-axis, which is towards or away from you. You can even use a combination of any of these to move the particles three-dimensionally. For our example, let's select the x-axis and move them slowly to the right. The next parameter we'll adjust is a deceleration slider. This controls how fast your subject breaks up into particles and how long they stay on screen. Let's set this number to about 95 for a nice slow sweep. The delay speed slider adjusts the time it takes to disintegrate your subject, so for our example, it delays the time from the top part to the bottom. This slider is very sensitive, so I find it works best to just click on the number and enter a value. Let's try about 30. This makes the top of our subject disintegrate first, then slowly moves down to the bottom. It also makes this effect last longer. For decay type, let's set this to scale and opacity. This will make your particles shrink and fade away as they move further from the original point. The gravity slider modifies the gravitational pull on the particles as they move. If we select Up Heavy setting, our particles will still move to the right, but at the same time slowly drift up and float away. And last, let's add some moderate turbulence to our particles. This is what our finished effect looks like so far. Next, let's head back to the media browser and select the first part of your clip, the part with just a background. Drag and drop this under the second clip in your timeline. Since this effect is an adjustment layer, it affects every clip under it, so if we skim through it, both the subject and the background clips are affected. To make just the subject layer disintegrate, command-click the subject clip and the adjustment layer and combine them into a compound clip by pressing Option G. Let your clip render out, and this is what the finished effect looks like. What I just showed you was the basic version of the Disintegrate tool. Using the advanced version will give you way more control over the particles, including direction, speed, turbulence, gravity, and much more, to make this effect much more realistic. Also included in this plugin are 6 pre-made transitions with full particle control. Here's what they look like applied to a few demo clips. Once again, I want to thank Pixel Film Studios for making this plugin and making this video possible. If you want to try this out in your next project, use the coupon code SURGEPIXEL for 30% off this plugin, limited to the first 500 customers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next week.